Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fat Buddies, your favorite FIFA Ultimate Team podcast, your favorite FIFA 21 Ultimate Team podcast, because today we have the first ratings and we're going to talk about them here with our trading expert, Jake. How are you,
What's
Jake?
up? I'm good. I'm good. I think the whole community, at least those that have discovered these ratings, is super excited today. It's just a really fun day to see what stats are on these cards, what ratings they're going to get, who got upgraded, who got downgraded, pace differences, skill moves, position changes. So it really starts bringing that hype in for FIFA 21. So we'll call this the first FIFA 21 podcast, and hopefully we start breaking down these ratings over a few episodes here because there's so many to get through now, guys, and there's so many surprises in this top 100 even.
Guys, don't forget to leave us a comment in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube. What do you want us to cover more regarding FIFA 21? It's starting now. The game gets released in about 3 weeks, so we are here prepared to cover everything for you. I see you have over there Lionel Messi. What
Yeah.
do we think about Messi for next FIFA?
So the big thing here, guys, is that Messi was downgraded, but so was Ronaldo. So a lot of ratings, guys, this year were really, really interesting to me, and I think that we have to view it almost differently. A lot of people view these ratings out of 100, but for me, I'm almost viewing these ratings now off a landmark of a 93 rated card, as in Messi, because I feel like a lot of players got unjustified downgrades, but I feel like because Messi and Ronaldo were both lowered, I feel like that kind of lowered the starting point for a lot of players, if that makes sense. So I would almost base their ratings off what Messi and Ronaldo are rather than even 100. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was checking here to see exactly a little bit what's the difference for Messi. So he
Yeah.
has one less point in rating, but he has two less pace.
Yep.
The shooting, the passing, the dribbling are kind of the same. The dribbling is a little bit higher,
Yep.
and I think you're right, Jake. I think I'm not sure how the ratings are important this year. We will see. We will
Yep.
see the in games later on and so on. But I think one thing, EA wanted the ratings lower for the entire database of players.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's a good thing because it's not only for some players, it's like for the majority of the players.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll see how EA plays that out in the future. But I think that for content wise, they didn't have space where to grow Messi more from 94 to 99. So there are only 5 ratings there. He had like, I don't know, 12 cards. So that was
Yep.
very difficult for them to fit in. So I
hmm
think this is better if they are doing it like this.
I agree. And guys, we've kind of mentioned that in other podcasts, but we almost wanted a lower starting point anyways, right? Like say
Yeah.
even Messi started at a 91, 92, it can give him 3 to 5 promotion cards, before he gets to 99. And for me personally, is not 99s have kind of lost their hype over the year because a bunch of players get them, quite a few over the years. Where before, when FIFA Ultimate Team started, they were extremely rare. You wouldn't see them very often. So I'm personally a fan of the starting point being a little bit lower and more room to grow. I also think they did that a little bit because they have the moments upgrades now where they do specific stat category upgrades. And it seems like to me personally that pace is a lot lower on quite a few cards.
Exactly, exactly. You're totally right. And guys, let's be honest here. Messi is 33 years old.
hmm
How long can he stay at the 94?
I know him and Cristiano. I wonder when they're gonna get overtaken. That will be a weird day in FIFA.
Yeah. Um, so Messi, the best card in game to
Yep,
have. Would it be the most expensive one?
it's a great question. So from the beta, and again, that's the furthest analysis we have right now. The beta was released. I got to play Ultimate Team on it, so that's kind of what I'm basing it off of. And I had Messi, okay? So I had Gold Messi before they released like all the good cards into packs. They let you play with some Inform, some Team of the Year type cards. I had them, but I had Gold Messi versus starting gold teams, and he felt unbelievably good. But I will say I didn't have like someone like Ronaldo to compare him to. Heading seems better in FIFA 21, so I think Ronaldo will actually be better than this year than last. But I do think that Messi has the potential to be the most expensive this year.
Okay, moving to the next one, or do you want
Hmm.
to add something else
No,
here?
I think that's good. Let's go to
Yeah,
Christie.
let's go to the goat, how I like to call it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Start the debate.
I know some people don't agree with me in the comments. For some people, Messi is the goat, but for me personally, his ambition and his work ethic is something you can compare with a lot of players. So I like him a lot. 92 rated Cristiano Ronaldo.
Hmm. So I think he's going to be a lot better this year. One of my biggest complaints, personally, that I'm seeing here is that he did not get a 5-star weak foot, which everyone has been pretty much demanding and requesting over the last few years. He's scored so many bangers now, like from 30 yards out with his left foot, that I don't know what he needs to do to get that 5-star weak foot. He can score with both feet. It's really proven over the years. So I'm really disappointed that that's not changed. But other than that, his stats look pretty familiar. Obviously, his pace is a little bit lessened, but I think that is a general theme this year. And from what I felt personally on the beta, pace mattered a little bit less. So I am happy about it. It should make cards like our next choice, Robert Lewandowski, more usable.
Yeah, Cristiano, I think he was lowered, let's say, in the eyes of EA,
Hmm.
especially after he was on the cover, not anymore. And after that, he went to, as we see today, Piemonte Calcio,
Yep,
which is not in the game. So I think his rating maybe would have been even better if he would have stayed with a contract with EA,
yep,
but that's for another discussion to have. And we can go through to Robert Lewandowski,
of
the
course.
Ballon d'Or winner, which didn't get the Ballon d'Or this year.
I know, right? He deserved it. Oops, I accidentally clicked into his card. I'm gonna go back just for a second here. There's a faster way to go through this, guys. If you're using this top 100 site, they kind of have a plus symbol next to their name. That's the best way to get their stats. If you actually click on the player, it will bring you to a new screen, and as you see here, it's loading
Yeah, I
much
think a
slower.
lot of people are checking now the ratings on this website. We are recording like 1 hour after the release of the ratings, guys.
Totally.
So bear with us here. 91 rated Lewandowski, +2 rating for let's say the top contender for the Ballon d'Or this year.
I agree with that, and I think he got his much deserved upgrade that everyone was requesting. Pace still on that lower side. I know a lot of people are looking for that landmark, even for starter cards of 80 plus pace. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I am hoping that they are making these 75 to 80 pace attackers more usable because we all know how he plays in real life, and that should translate really well to FIFA. I like that he has 4-star, 4-star, high, medium. I think he's going to be really good too. I mean, obviously, we know he's a beast in the air, and with heading being more important, like on corner kicks, if you can find him, trust me, it matters. On the beta, I was scoring so many headers with Van Dijk and Ramos that a player like Lewandowski should get quite a few of those. What do you think about his rating and stats?
Man, I just want to say he got upgraded +6 for his finishing. So
That's
he has a 94
yep.
finishing, which is, I don't know, maybe the best in the game. We'll have to check to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I was never a fan of Lewandowski in FIFA. But there are a lot of cards which were not usable in FIFA until now. Maybe this year they will change that. We will have
That's
to wait and see.
exactly. And I just checked because I thought I saw it, and Cristiano actually has 85 finishing. So ironically, he is one higher still than Lewandowski.
that's uh, that's crazy.
Uh,
Um, moving forward. Ah, you clicked again, right?
I know it's gonna be a bad habit. So we do have Kevin De Bruyne, guys. He's a 91 rated as well. People thought he actually might get a 92 upgrade, but he didn't. And I again think you really have to put into perspective what they're rated comparatively to Messi and Ronaldo for these other cards. And for me, that makes me really happy with this De Bruyne rating. I'm really happy about it. Um, and I like that he's in line with Neymar because Neymar, I do think he's one of the best in the world at his respective position, and I think he's proven it now over the years. There's really no debating it that he's one of the best. So I'm really happy with it. He's got 4-star skills, 5-star weak foot. He's a beast cam, and again, if that pace isn't as important, he should play like how he does in real life.
Yeah, I'm wearing, guys, you can see I'm wearing a Manchester City jersey t-shirt today. So KDB, if someone would ask me, who do you want, if you can choose a player from the beginning of FIFA, who do you want? I wouldn't take any other than De Bruyne. I like him a lot in real life.
Yep,
He won Player of the Year, PFA Player of the Year. So he's a beast in real life. He just needs to win some more titles
agree.
with his club.
Yeah, and he's got all the stats you'd want in like what I view as like a cam card, um, like a central cam almost. I think of that 4-2-3-1 formation a lot. I know it's gotten really popular in FIFA. Play him as a central because he can shoot so far and his passing's unbelievable. But I know that a lot of people simply will refuse to use him if pace is that important. Because again, he doesn't have that benchmark of 80. He's got 76. So I'd like to see those kind of cards play a little better because it just encapsulates so many of them now.
Yeah, and KDB had a terrific year. Personally, I him and Ericsson were the only cards in previous FIFAs who I chose and didn't have enough pace, but they were
Hmm.
very good with this 5-star weak foot. So these were some players to have, especially in some Premier League teams.
Totally.
Moving further, make sure you click the plus
I
the
got it
plus
right
sign.
here. I know. Thanks for the
Okay.
reminder.
We have the, let's say, the Brazilian contender of top players. We have Neymar, Neymar da Silva Santos Jr. With a 91 rated card, one minus his last edition card, but with some great stats. And we all know Neymar, it's always a player to have. Even his goal card, it's very usable, even late in the game.
Yeah, and he didn't have an amazing year for PSG, and I think this rating is right on par. I mean, they're still giving him one of the best in the world at his respective position, right in line with De Bruyne and Lewandowski. And then, of course, when we look into FIFA, he's got 5-star, 5-star. Attacking work rate is high. He's got amazing agility, acceleration, and balance with those 5-star skills. He's gonna be, in my opinion, the exact same desire, guys. Even though he has that -1 rating, I really don't think it matters for his FIFA card because his stats are so meta here. I don't think he'll play any worse unless you're going for crosses with him or something. But I think he'll play like a monster again in FIFA 21.
Yeah, he still keeps his finishing. He has 5-star, 5-star Brazilian links.
Hmm. Yep,
That's enough for everybody, I think, and he will be a very good card.
I agree. Oblak,
Uh,
I don't really have much to say about him. I didn't watch enough Atletico to speak on it, but I guess it's just important to note he is the highest rated goalkeeper right now. Do you think that's justified?
yeah, I think Atletico lost a little bit of momentum this year. They weren't up there lately, especially after Griezmann left.
Yep.
What can I say? Probably they weren't. The EA guys who did the ratings probably weren't paying attention either. So they say, hey, let's stick with 91 Oblak. He's
Hmm.
considered one of the best goalkeepers in the world. The team didn't help him that much this
Sure,
year, but
that's valid.
he has some fantastic saves. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and I think that if you said he's going to be one of the top goalkeepers, I don't think anyone would question that. It's just a matter of the top goalkeeper. I know that some people thought Allison should be, but again, I think it's pretty hard to determine unless you're watching both leagues consistently, and specifically both players, and I don't know many people who do that across leagues, at least that consistently.
Yeah, and I have to say, maybe for last season, the one of the best goalkeepers from the big teams was Manuel Neuer. So
Yep.
he's I don't think Oblak was better last year than Neuer, but he has a better rating. Not a very good goalkeeper for chemistry part because he doesn't have like a big nation, but he's okay to be here.
Totally. And do you have Van Dijk's card up from FIFA 20, Florian?
Yep.
Is his pace down?
Yeah, his pace is down with one
Okay.
point.
Okay.
His defensive stat is +1,
Sure.
and the rest it's almost the same.
Sure. So Van Dijk stayed the same rating, guys, and I think to me that's justified. We all know he had that huge breakout year and he got a pretty monster upgrade. I don't think he did really anything to establish himself as a further upgrade. He's still the top rated center back in the game based off these stats, and again with a lot of attackers reducing in pace. I think he'll play like the best center back in the game. Still expect a really high price tag, 600K plus early on when there's no special cards out. So yeah, I think it's fair too, and I think he's gonna be even better this year with on corners and stuff. You'd be guys, I'm telling you right now, both my defenders when I had Ramos and Van Dijk had like 10 plus header goals on the beta. It really is going to matter this year how good those center backs are at heading.
Yeah, and I will come back with a debate between Van Dijk and Ramos when we see Ramos card.
Sure. And then we have Mbappe, guys. And Mbappe is a +1, and his card looks absolutely mental because, again, we've already touched on a lot of attackers have lost pace, but he hasn't. He's only 22, guys, and he's got that 90 rated card here. So, again, how many years off are we from Mbappe potentially passing Ronaldo and Messi as they lose some steam as they get older in age? It could be within the next 3 years, probably. I mean, if Mbappe is performing, I still don't personally think he's on their level. He hasn't proven it, but I think it's approaching if they start losing their speed, their agility, and he's only 22, guys. He's got so much potential left. He could be the generational talent we've been seeking.
Yeah, even though PSG reached the Champions League final and with Mbappe winning the World Cup,
Hmm.
he probably people probably still wait for him to demonstrate his capabilities in a bigger club like I don't
Yep.
know Real Madrid maybe, or
Yep.
driving a club in a bigger league. He has a +2 in finishing this year. He has 91 finishing,
Yep.
which is very good. Mbappe
I,
probably one of the fastest attackers, if not the fastest attacker in the beginning of the game. You want to pack Mbappe in your first packs. Let's call it
totally.
like that.
And even more desirable, guys, I'm not sure if you saw this, but he has 5-star skills in FIFA 21.
And that's wasn't it like he like that also in
I thought he had 4-star.
I'm checking Footbin now, and he has 5 stars here, but I'm not sure if he got upgraded or something.
Yeah, I feel
So
like he didn't to start the year. Maybe he did, and I'm wrong, but I feel like that is an upgrade. Personally, I'm not sure. But we'll check back on that, and we can even put it in the comments. But yeah, I feel
and
like he didn't to start the year.
and guys, remember Mbappe? It's a 1 million plus coins card at the
Oh, for
beginning of
sure.
the game. So
Yeah, he'll be like
yeah,
1-2 to 1-4, no problem this year with those stats.
yeah, probably only the pro players who were putting some money in the game, or the top trader if you're watching this podcast will have enough coins to acquire him.
Totally. Moving on to Salah, who actually is matching him in rating at a 90. His card still looks really, really good. I think the thing that hurts him most in FIFA is that weak foot at 3 stars. Makes it pretty hard to use because a lot of people will end up playing him as cams where he's going to need to use both feet. I mean, obviously, if you're playing him as a right wing, it's a little less important, but we know that near post has been notoriously overpowered the last few years in FIFA. So even if you're playing him like out on the wing where you'd think he could use his left to curl it in more, he needs to use that right foot for near post a lot of the time. So I still think that really diminishes his value. What do you think, Florian?
Yeah, a little bit more difficult to link Salah if you have, let's say, a hybrid team. This year he has almost the same stats as last year, +1 in finishing, which I'm always checking because very important for a
Yep.
striker.
Yep.
I've never played with Salah because of his weak foot, but who knows? Maybe this new meta will be different, and I don't know, agility or some of his stats will matter more and not the weak foot.
Yeah, exactly. And I think finishing is really important, like you said, and it's something to keep an eye on. But I still think Salah isn't going to be preferred by a lot of people. And the way I view that, guys, is because if you actually have the coins for a player like Salah, I think you're just going to distribute them differently. Like, even as I'm looking down here with Mane getting an upgrade, I think people would prefer to spend coins on him rather than Salah, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and Mane looks. I know. I'm not sure. He has Mane has 85 shooting. I think he looks even better than Salah this year. Last year he was an 88 rated card.
I know, yeah, his upgrade is massive. I didn't really expect that. I know he's been performing really well, but for him to jump to a 90 was a surprise to me. I thought maybe at max a +1, but to get that +2 was surprising to me. And now you're literally talking one of the best left wings in the game, and I personally have moved him to striker. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a team of the week one actually as a striker in FIFA 20. And I think that if you can get him there with 4-star, and we know he's a little bit a stronger player, I think he'd play extremely well there. He's got 90 finishing, 84 shot power. I would personally try to get him at striker. His stats are insane. Good jumping, good stamina.
Yeah, one of the maybe top three attacking players in the game at the beginning of the game. What a card for Sadio Mane.
Do you think his +2 is justified?
Actually, yes, because
Okay,
I've watched from a Man City fan. I've watched Liverpool for the entire season,
sure.
and out of those three in front, Mane was the most
Okay,
decisive one. He helped, and he had the bigger ambition out of all three of them. Maybe okay, as you said, maybe not +2, but an increase in rating for sure.
totally. And I'm happy about it, to be honest, guys. I love Mane. I love how he plays in real life, and I also love his FIFA card. So speaking as a FIFA player, for me to see Mane getting a base 90 is going to make his card fun throughout the whole year. We know he's going to get some informs, some special cards if he's performing what he has the last few years. So he'll be really insane. Moving forward, we have Ter Stegen as a goalkeeper, 90. He has some of those niche trait guys that made him the best goalkeeper, and I don't even think this is debatable for most of the year in FIFA 20. You can even look at games played, and he's by far leading the goalkeeper count in FIFA 20. So if he has those kind of niche traits and he plays like he did last year, expect him to be the most used card in FIFA for goalkeepers.
Ter Stegen is it's the one player besides Messi who kept Barcelona up there against Real Madrid last season. He also was an important player in Champions League, even if Barcelona didn't get, let's say, very far as they expected.
Yep,
So him and Messi were the ones who kept Barcelona up there. So very well deserved his 90 rating, especially in FIFA, where we know from last season he was very meta.
totally. Yep, I think that I like his rating and I like him in FIFA. It will be interesting. Allison, he got a +1 from last year.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people actually in my comments on Instagram I had posted it and I think they disagreed with that. What are your thoughts?
Definitely, definitely better than Ederson. It was this
Sure.
debate in Premier League last year between Ederson and Alisson, both Brazilians. Ederson made a lot of mistakes and which cost City the title.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, maybe not that close to Ter Stegen, but EA used us with high ratings for goalkeepers in the Prem. We remember David De Gea a couple of years ago. So
Yep.
probably because there is this hype for Premier League, they
Yep.
wanted also to include a goalkeeper from Premier League with a high rating.
Totally. Yeah, it makes
And
sense to me.
don't forget team of the year, Allison. So
That's true.
Allison was team of the year 2019.
That's true. And guys, he'll be really desirable. I mean, at any point in FIFA, because he's also got those Brazilian links. So early game, a lot of people are using like Militao, and goalkeepers aren't crazy expensive to start. So you can get a really good keeper early on, and I think he's got those good hybrid links. And Florian, here we go. You touched on this earlier, something that you're a little concerned with, Ramos. So he's an 89, but what's important is comparatively, Van Dijk is a 90. What are your thoughts there?
Van Dijk is a 90 and he has a little bit more pace and plus two
Yep.
defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Ramos increased in defense plus one this year. I wanted to tell you guys the following: if I would go for a fight and I would have to choose between Virgil and Ramos to be in my team, I would choose Ramos 10 times out of 10. I know Virgil had a very good year last year and 2 years ago. He's a very good center back, but the dedication with which Ramos plays for Real Madrid, it's very uncomparable to other players.
Yep.
I'm a Real Madrid fan, and even if he gets a lot of red cards or a lot of cards or he makes a lot of fouls, he's a very good defender, and he makes Varane a very good defender.
Exactly.
We saw Ramos not being in the against City in the Champions League second game, and
Mm-hmm.
that cost a lot Real Madrid a lot. So Virgil and Ramos are the ones who make the second center back look better. So for Joe Gomez, for example, he's not that top tier of the defender, but Virgil there helps him a lot. So yeah, Ramos is a very good defender to have. If I would have to choose between Ramos and Virgil at the beginning of the game, I would go with the heart.
Yeah, yep. So, guys, I'm a neutral fan. Florian was speaking, of course, as a Real Madrid fan, which I think is an important to know. There might be some bias, but as a non-biased fan of the game,
Yeah,
Ramos is 34, guys, and if you've seen him, he's literally in like tip-top peak physical condition. Like he doesn't look like he's 34, so I don't think he's lost much pace over the years. I don't like to see his pace creeping in the 60s almost. And like Florian said, he's a leader. Watching that Champions League performance with how poor their whole defense was when he was out, it just shows how much he has those intangibles. So I don't know. I think his pace is a little bit slighted, and not only that, I think his defense should be above 90 to me. And he's got a lot of those intangible qualities. I mean, obviously those are a little bit hard to show in FIFA, but yeah, for me, I think that him being on par with Virgil would be very appropriate. And I think most people, when they look at the two card stats, especially with what we've known pace to be over the years, people are going to play Virgil over Ramos
of
almost
course.
every time.
Of course. And
Yeah.
guys, if you have the opportunity and you didn't, go check Ramos on Instagram. You'll see exactly what Jake was speaking about. He when the pandemic hit
Oh,
the
totally.
world, he was in the gym like 8 hours a day. He trains a lot. He's a fantastic athlete.
Yep.
So even if he's maybe not loved by opponents, teams, fans. He's a very good athlete.
Yeah, he's a freak athlete, even I would say. To do what he's doing in the shape that he's in
Yeah,
at his age is just
he
insane, and
he
it's not
he,
common at all.
he said it. He wants to catch the World Cup in 2 years. So that's what he's preparing for.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Next we're gonna have Neuer. I think that the only debate here is if he should be higher. I don't think he should be any bit lower than an 89, in my opinion. I think he could even contest with those 90 overalls. But yeah, I might show some bias that they have. It looked like to me, and we're going to go through more ratings, guys. Today is just kind of episode one. We want to do at least one more on these ratings because there's so much to cover.
Yeah,
We could talk so long on them. But it seems like overall they might have slighted the Bundesliga a little bit. It seems like some of them got insane downgrades. Like I am going to give you guys one example, guys. Nabry got -8 pace this year, and Sancho got -5 pace. That seems that seems out of nowhere to me, and I don't think they slowed down much year over year. If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I think, or this is what we like to think, that it has more to do with pace being
Yeah.
different in
Yep.
this new instance of the game. So
Yep.
maybe those players will feel better with the agility, with the balance, and not with the pace. So that's one thing to take into consideration. But yeah, totally right.
Yep. Exactly. And then Aguero, big thing for him, guys, is he doesn't have the 80 pace benchmark. And I know I keep saying that, but it really, to the eye, and it's so visual, guys. Those landmarks of the, I would say, fives and zeros to end numbers. So, for example, 80, 85, 90, 95, 80, 85. People look for those numbers so much. For him to not have 80 pace is going to deter people from using him, in my opinion. And I think he'll lose value this year. Um, because guys, even like Immobile got a big pace upgrade this year, and then we have other strikers in the Premier League like Werner, who's above 90 pace, and I think that's going to hurt Aguero quite a bit. He's losing some of that pace, that kind of meta that we know for FIFA. But other than that, his card's still really good. I mean, he's one of the top strikers in the game.
Yeah, I think they lowered his pace because he stayed more on Twitch streaming FIFA than on the
Exactly.
field.
Too much
Uh,
snacking.
yeah, and he was injured for a big
Yep.
part of the year. Didn't have He was in top goal scorers in Premier League until he got injured. He didn't have the opportunity to show entire his capabilities. But and in last FIFA he wasn't so used by the players compared to other
I agree
FIFAs.
with that. I agree with that.
So yeah, I'm not sure about Aguero at the beginning of the game. Expensive, high-rated card probably, but I'm not sure if you'll get what you want from him.
I agree with that. I think that it's going to bring down his price a little bit, and then Werner coming in really does hurt
Exactly.
him. Yeah, I mean, it definitely hurts him when there's another meta option that's going to cost upwards of a few hundred K. I think Werner guys are going to be like close to 400K. I know you might not like to hear that, but he's going to be extremely expensive due to his links, his transfer, his hype, and then, of course, that pace. Next, we have something that is incredibly deserved, in my opinion, which is a Benzema getting +2. I think that this is long overdue. What about you?
He's getting a +2 but a -2 in pace.
Sure.
So I'm happy for him. He led Real Madrid
Hmm.
in attack for their title. We've all seen that Hazard last year wasn't what Real Madrid expected.
Exactly.
Very good improvement in shooting.
Yep.
So he has now 88 finishing and had before only 84. We'll see if the meta is not so pacey in this FIFA 21 edition. Um, it's a good card to have, especially if you said like crosses work very well and headings. So yeah, maybe just to have it over there in a penalty box to cross to him, that would be useful.
Exactly. And I think, guys, that, and we've already said it, what, on numerous occasions now, that pace is so imperative because if it's not that important, Benzema will be a great card. But if pace matters a lot, this is going to fall so fast to SBC fodder that it's really disappointing because, you don't want to see a player play so good in real life and get a +2 and still be unusable. I don't think that's really fair to them.
Is Benzema the highest rated fodder until now? Did we have anybody else a
Oh,
fodder?
we have those goalkeepers, but I don't think they'll fall there for a while. But other than the goalkeepers, yeah, he would be the one that could fall fastest there, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I'm seeing you have Casemiro right after Benzema.
Yep,
That 60. I only see that 65 pace.
that's all we're looking at now.
Whew, I'm not
I
sure
know.
about. I know pace wouldn't matter, let's say, but come on, 65 pace. It's like turning a truck in mud. So maybe a little bit too short for Casemiro,
Hmm.
who's a great defensive midfielder.
Yeah, and again, we have to keep reiterating how much does pace matter? Is he usable or is he not? Is everyone going to go for someone like Allen over him, right? Allen just made the switch to Everton in the Premier League. Are they going to prefer an 84 or 85 rated Allen to an 89 rated because of that pace, you know?
And
Um,
and and you know, at the beginning of the game, highest rated cards are very hard to pack.
yeah,
So probably he will be expensive only from the fact that he's 89. Casemiro is a +2 compared to last year. This year, I wanted to check. He also has an upgrade in his work rate, so he's high now. He was high medium. High. It's always nice for a CDM, but
definitely.
yeah, the pace lacks a lot.
Totally. And we have Courtois. Nothing surprising there for me. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
I
I
think we'll just
I I have no comments about Courtois. Another goalkeeper in the top 20 players.
exactly. And then, guys, kind of an exciting one is we have Kimmich. And Kimmich was position change from a right back to a CDM, which Kimmich has played pretty much around the pitch for Bayern a little bit here. He's played some center back, he's played some CDM, some right back. He's got high, medium work rates, and he's got 3 star, 4 star, and his stats are really good. So he's got above 70 in all stats, and then he's got 86 passing and 81 defense. I seriously love this change because as a right back, he was a little bit slow, but as a CDM, I think he'll be more used there. Um, and I'm excited to try him. What do you think, Florian?
Yeah, it's better to have Kimmich as a CDM because nobody used him last year as a right
Hmm.
back. He was a fodder from the first week of the game.
Yep,
Deserved improvement there. Deserved improvement also in defense. He has an increase of +2. So
yep.
yeah, I'm very okay with Kimmich.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm excited just to have some more options. After this, we have Cruz, and Cruz, I hate to say it, this one is there's no way he's going to be used. I just can't see a 54 pace player being used. I think people are going to prefer like rare gold 80s like Kessie or other players over him. He's got 5 star weak foot. We know he can shoot far range. I think over the years EA has really reduced the long shots and how often they go in. So I think that's less important now, even though they are good for him.
But you know
Um,
what? You know what, Jake? They improved his pace with +9.
That's good. I mean, that's something. I still don't know if it's enough, though. I mean, I'm happy about it, but
Yeah, Cross probably one of the best, in my opinion, the best box-to-box midfielder there is playing right now in our times.
yep,
Uh, he's not so shiny. That's why he's not in scandals. He doesn't play in Premier League,
yep,
but he would fit in any squad in the world. He's a
yep,
very good defensive wise, and he always shoots and scores phenomenal goals. So yeah, he will be a legend of the game, but for now he's not usable in FIFA.
completely. And Florian, due to time here, I mean, we could talk all day about some of these ratings. I'm thinking what we'll do today is kind of go through the top 40, and we can even pick and choose on the second page. So some of the surprise ones or exciting ones, just to make sure you viewers are enjoying it and getting to see some cards you want to see.
Yeah, guys, let's do like that, and you can start if you want to say something about Harry Kane.
I think so. I think this one's deserved. So Kane's an 88, so he got a downgrade, and then his pace got downgraded. So he became less usable, in my opinion. And again, even though heading is better, I'm not sure how much we'll see him. That pace is going to be the determining factor. We all know too that people highly prefer 4 star skills, so having that 3 is a big deterrence. But in his attacking stats, we know he's going to have some of the best: 94 finishing, 91 shot power, 90 penalties, 86 long shots, 90 reactions. So he's got all those attacking traits, but he doesn't have the weak foot or the pace, which are so significant.
He was injured for 3 months, playing
Hmm.
for Tottenham. Guys, if you love football, soccer, if you're from US,
Let's go, Florian.
go watch All or Nothing
Yeah,
documentary
yeah.
about Tottenham. There is a nice part about him there, and my opinion about Harry Kane got better after seeing the first episodes. So yeah, the decrease of rating it's okay, but I have a better opinion about him as a football player and as a person.
Totally, totally. And I actually watched that series as well, and I highly, highly recommend it. I think they're also watching it as a group on like Nick 28T streams. I know you're allowed to do that now with Twitch, so that's pretty awesome. A lot of
Yeah.
people are getting exposure to Tottenham, and I think that's Tottenham. I think that's really cool. I'm gonna exit out here. Hazard, I think, is super important because if you guys don't know already, he got a 3 downgrade, which
Deserved
I was gonna
downgrade.
say significant for sure. I would say at least -2, -3 seems valid to me for what it is. He just has not performed at Madrid. What are your thoughts as a fan?
Especially with him being on the cover last year.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he brought a lot of hype to him, and he had a ones to watch. And I think that it was just disappointing for fans, for people who. I mean, he had a lot of Chelsea supporters that would follow him because, I mean, at least watch his games because they enjoyed him so much. I don't know what happened. I hope he can return to previous form.
Yeah, I think he lost a bit of confidence and um, ambition. His dream was to play for Real Madrid, and when he reached there, he didn't want to win more.
Yeah, he already achieved it all.
Yeah, so that's disappointing. He was injured for a big part of the season. We all know he's ones to watch, didn't perform last year. So yeah, I think he needs to do better if he wants that 91 rating from last year.
Yeah, I think we want to see him improve, and I think that Hazard has a lot of fans. So I think that most people, whether they've supported him over the years at Real, at Chelsea, I want to see him return to previous form. Sterling and Dybala, I don't think are much to talk about. The only thing that for me with Dybala is that um, I think Dybala had a really good season. I think he could have got an upgrade if anything, but he stayed the same rating, so that's why I say there's not too much there.
Yeah, I have no comments about these two guys.
Yeah, they'll still play pretty meta in FIFA. They'll still be about the same desire, no changes. Ederson 88, nothing surprising there. Kante got a -1. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, Kante is my favorite player in the game this year in FIFA 20. I had his Team of the Year from the beginning of Team of the Year promo, and I'm sad to see. Probably he will not get a Team of the Year this year, so I'm sad to see we are losing a top tier player. He will still be very used. It's only -1 in defense and -1 in pace. Kante is always meta to have, but sad to see we're losing this kind of player from special cards.
Exactly. And yeah, I think he's still going to be really meta in FIFA and kind of play. I think that maybe he'll lose a touch of value because Allen is now playing in that league, and I wouldn't say he is as good as Conte, especially statistically, and even in regards to how well known he is in FIFA. But it does create some good competition there, right? With who people would choose to use as a CDM.
That's always good, yeah, to have.
Totally. Handanovic, definitely nothing to say for me. Same exact rating. But Koulibaly, I think he's rated down 1, but he has more pace.
Yeah, the discussion about Koulibaly, you know what it is? It's about if he's joining Man City or not, and
Totally.
if he's joining Premier League, imagine a duo with Virgil in defense
Oh
for
man.
Premier League teams. That would be crazy. He has 75 pace, or did
Yeah,
I?
yeah, he has 75. So
That's
he'll play better.
that's an increase of 4 plus 4 in
Oh, okay.
pace. So
Okay.
that's a lot. He decreased one rating but increased in pace and has the same defensive stats. We don't know how EA calculates these kind of ratings, but they have a secret manual formula to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Koulibaly will be only the best thing for him and for FIFA players. I think will be to have him in Premier League.
I agree with that, and I think now he's going to be more usable, and one of the better defenders in the Serie A too. Modric with the downgrade. Thoughts here as a real fan?
Modric, he didn't. He has a big downgrade. He has a -3 downgrade. I didn't expect that.
Yep.
Stat wise, his card is kind of the same. In FIFA, he was always a father. Only his team of the year 2 years ago was let's say a better card. But yeah, for fathers, I don't have a lot to comment on. Kroos was the same. Imagine Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric, three Real Madrid midfielders being father. We'll see.
Yeah, and with Modric, guys, I think that there's kind of an effect too of a lot of people gave Modric significance when he was playing so well in that World Cup. If you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And now we're getting further and further away from it. So I think he's lost a lot of the hype. I don't think many players are even talking about him as one of the best midfielders in the world anymore compared to like De Bruyne. So I think that's where you're seeing some of those downgrades come in.
Yeah, and this year, especially for Real Madrid, he missed a lot of games. Federico Valverde played there, and yeah, he wasn't in front of the attention. Moving to Immobile, you said he had an increase in pace, right?
Massive increase, yep.
Let me check. So now he has 84. He's a usable card. He had 80 pace last year.
Yep.
4-star weak foot, which is always nice. +1 in rating. A good striker for the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I think the only complaint here from spectators would be that he could maybe even got a larger upgrade because it's only a +1 from last year. But seeing that pace come in at a +4 is monstrous. It really is important. People have really enjoyed his card in FIFA too. I do want to put that out there that they've enjoyed his card previously. So seeing some of those small boosts could be really important. Next, we have something really important and surprising, and this is one that people are pretty heated on, is Aubameyang got a downgrade after 26 Premier League goals and pretty much, really carrying Arsenal from the attacking standpoint. So I don't see it. I don't understand how he got a downgrade.
I will tell you why. I think they won the FA Cup, right?
Yep.
Or something.
Yep, they did. Mm-hmm.
But they finished 8th in the league.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's deserved, guys.
Yep.
I'm saying that a lot of people got very happy Arsenal won the FA Cup, but when you finish 8th in the league, it's not like something you can be very proud of. He has a -1 in rating. And -1 in shooting and pace.
Yep.
So not such a big deal for Aubameyang. He was also in a PFA Team of the Year for Premier League, so that's an important award to have there in the first 11. Yeah, Arsenal fans are not happy, but you should, if you're an Arsenal fan, you should be more focused towards the Premier League spot last season.
Yeah, and guys, in terms of FIFA, the downgrade isn't that important. Just speaking of his stats and how he's going to play, just looking at him. But I know that a lot of fans were upset, so I did want to touch on that there. Next, we'll go to another huge fan base in the FIFA community, which is Manchester United, and they should be pleased with an 87 Bruno Fernandez. For me, I think the upgrade is deserved, and I think that if Bruno continues to perform like he has this season, you might even see higher in the coming years.
Yeah, we remember this chart was dominated by David De Gea and Paul Pogba for Man United in previous years. Now we have only Bruno in top as a top player for Man City. It's a good upgrade. I was hoping for more finishing, but let's say a lot of people say he scores a lot of
Penalties.
penalties.
What's his
Yeah,
penalty stats? 91. Let's go.
yeah. So if you want to take a penalty with Bruno Fernandes, go ahead and do it. He will
Hmm.
be I think people will use him a lot at the
Oh,
beginning of
definitely,
the game. Yeah.
definitely with 4-star, 4-star, and again, KDB held his price really good in FIFA 20, like one of the best I've seen in the year. So, with KDB holding such high price tags to start last year, Bruno definitely will too, because they'll play comparably in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I like Bruno a lot. He improved a lot, Man United.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip Di Maria because he's pretty similar. He's just a +1, pretty, with a weak foot. It's the same old.
Yeah,
But Sancho, I did want to touch on, and the big thing here, guys, is Sancho is an 87, which is fantastic, but he got -5 pace. So I think people are really shocked by that because of his card upgrade, but his pace downgrade. So personally, like I said already, I don't know what would justify a stat moving that much from year to year, especially when he's only 20. But yeah, great card overall. I just don't know why he's got -5 pace.
and Sancho, guys, is the second Man United player from this chart. Probably, well, on my expectations, he will reach this summer
I think so.
to Man United. So yeah, probably people are upset about this downgrade in pace. I would be more upset not having a bigger upgrade in shooting, because with only +2 in shooting, you can't do a lot of things in the Premier League squads. But we'll see. We'll see how he plays out. Maybe they will improve better the ratings of informs, or yeah, he has some room to grow there.
Totally. Son is kind of the same old what you would expect in FIFA, but he did get position changed to left mid. I think that makes him a little less desirable in my opinion. But we all know that with custom tactics and everything, you can get him where you want him regardless. So it might make him actually easier to fit in a team if you want him and a Aubameyang or something like that. But I think he'll lose a little value being a left mid.
Yeah, last year's Son was considered Sonaldo in the Premier League. We'll see if he will stay like that. But I like Son a lot,
Me too.
especially after I've seen the documentary about Tottenham.
Totally. And then we have a downgrade in Luis Suarez, which I'm not surprised with. I didn't know it would be a -2. I was thinking -1. But
Yeah.
again, he's got that really slow pace. And keep in mind, guys, we've said that a lot. So it depends how important pace is, but also keep in mind that the norm is going to be a little bit slower too. So maybe like 85 to 87 pace is going to feel really fast this year, rather than just the 90 plus, which we've seen in the last previous renditions of FIFA.
Yeah, and Suarez probably he will leave Barcelona for Juventus, and
I think so.
we can have a link there between him and Cristiano. Cristiano has already the pace. Maybe you don't need another pacey striker there.
Totally. And then one of the last ones I want to touch on today, and this one is shocking to me, is Alexander Arnold. He's coming in, guys, at a +4. I know he's kind of got renowned as one of the best right backs in the world, but a +4 is absolutely massive. I would have thought like an 85 would be justified. I wouldn't have expected an 87. I think it's kind of shocking, but also I wanted to make note his stats aren't very meta. They're not like they don't look like an 87 stats to me. Maybe like at a CDM or something, but as a right back, I don't think the stats are reflecting that rating very well. What about you, Florian?
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Maybe Trent could be the next N'Golo Kante in CDM.
Yep.
He looks very good for that position. I've
And
played his team of the year as a CDM, so he played very well there.
sure. And he had that shapeshifter in FIFA 20 where he was that CDM and people enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
And then lastly here we have Griezmann, who no longer looks quite as meta, and his stats to me actually better reflect like a cam position, like where I would think about playing him would be like an outside cam or a central cam rather than even a striker with that sub 80 pace.
Yeah, and I think There is no game he played as a striker this year.
That makes sense then.
He played as a left wing a lot for Barcelona, as a center forward maybe, or a cam for France. So yeah, you're right. As a striker, you don't have a lot to do with him as a striker. He doesn't have the weak foot for cam position, let's say. His finishing is still very good, so probably expensive card at the beginning of the game, but a -2 in rating.
Totally. And I think that a downgrade in ratings was, to me, even expected. But again, -2 on some of these are quite surprising. So I think that that will close out our episode today, guys. We have Chesney left and Laporte, and those stayed pretty box standard to what we've seen in previous years. We have some more exciting options to get through, and we'll probably do it kind of like we did our second page approach of kind of picking and choosing, showing some downgrades, showing some upgrades, and hopefully you guys are excited as we are. When we first saw these come out, the whole Twitter, Instagram community, Florian and I, we are all so excited to start scrolling through because this is really the first official kickoff for FIFA 21, and it gets fans really involved because they're debating now who is the best player in these positions. Does he deserve this rating? Does he deserve this much pace? Why did Gnabry get -8? So we're really excited to continue to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm very happy we went through these, guys. In the next episode, if we are doing a second part, maybe we will choose, let's say, fan favorites and the most discussed players out of
Definitely.
probably until next time. Some other ratings will show up online, so we'll have more to talk about. Don't forget to follow us because we are just starting for FIFA 21.
Yep.
You can follow us on, of course, on social networks, but this podcast is also on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcast. Of course, on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching and listening, guys. Stay safe.
Thanks, guys.